as of 2014, the Africa largest economies. As of 2014, the Africa largest economy was Nigeria with a GDP of 568.5 billion US dollars as of 2014. Guess what? The Western powers, they saw it, especially America, UK, and the rest. They saw it. They said, what do we do to destabilize Nigeria? What do we do to destabilize Nigeria's economy? And what? They instituted an illiterate puppet, Buhari. Buhari. Then they use our religious leaders, our so self-acclaimed elite, brainwashed Nigerians, created a chaos all in the name of Chibok girls. Bring back our girls. Bring back our guest, Chibok guest saga. That was how Americans infiltrated, influenced the political ambience of the 2050 general election, and Mohamed Buhari was instituted in. Mohamed Buhari was instituted in 2019 again. Election was rigged again. In fact, Buhari lived most of his life in medical checkup and treatment, with Nigeria being on autopilot. And that was how the economy of Nigeria nosedived. Follow me clearly. Now, come to 2023 general election. America again played a major role in making sure that President Tinubu, is in power. Of course, remember President Tinubu was already in the criminal case file of America, but they ignored that because they knew that if they institute President Tinubu in power, this is the role he's gonna play for them. But guess what? They gave Tinubu so many injunctions for him to be in that power. And guess what? A typical Nigerian politician is ready to finish his own people just to make sure that what he acquired power. So America claimed to have the best judicial justice system, negated a man with a criminal drug case, with certificate issues, and they make sure he gets into power with so many injunctions, with so many directives, with so many agreements. Now, these are the agreements according to David Hunde. Now, you can see it on my screen there. You can see it. You can see it on my. You can see it on my screen there. So when you read through it, when you read through it, you can see it there. Now, David Houdini, he said, I told everyone who cared to listen that Bola Tinubu, like Mohamed Buhari, was given one set of policy directives. I believe you can see it on my screen. One set of policy directives by the American interest that put him in Asuro. One of the injunctions that Tinubu signed or pledged to the Americans, one, so that he would be given power as the president of Nigeria, was one, to severely reduce the value of Nigerian wealth and curtail local purchasing power. You see, have you seen it? You see, that was why when Tinubu was speaking on this video, watch the video.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we'll take in more taxes, and that is what we must.
And widening the tax net, and some idiots were there clapping. Some idiots were there clapping. They don't even know what they're clapping about. They don't even know that Nigeria has been sold, and they are clapping. Now, again, apart from reducing the local purchasing power, now again, Yeah, pauperize to make more people poor, to pauperize the Nigerian middle classes who can then be picked off as cheap immigrant labor by the US and East NATO allies. This part of the manifesto actually appeared in print in a major Western daily newspaper. You see some of the allegiance that Tinubu signed with US to make sure that they impoverish the middle class. And this middle class, having little resources, we you know there will be a mass migration of this middle class out of Nigeria, who will now further turn towards cheap labor to US and other NATO countries. In other words, so if they have uprooted our middle class, so it's now left for the rich who are busy crumbling Nigeria's economy and the poor who are busy suffering. So when the middle class have been uprooted, our country is gone. This was it. Then again, if you move again, he said purchasing middle classes and allies. Okay, then again, to another allegiance that Tinubu pledged was to reduce the size and influence of Nigeria's economy, economy in Africa. Just as we've seen before, Nigeria's economy has been reduced drastically. Have you not bothered? Has it not occurred to you that when Tinubu came into administration, the economy of Nigeria started what? Plummeting. The economy of Nigeria started what? Plummeting. And Nigeria's economy was the highest as of 2014. Now the worst. I think South Africa is the top functioning country now in Africa. So now again, he said reduce the influence of Nigeria. Now ensure Nigeria's industrial capacity does not grow. Tell me what is growing in Nigeria? Nothing. Everything has crumbled. There is absolutely nothing functioning in Nigeria. There is absolutely nothing functioning in Nigeria. There is no industrialization. There is no single economic development in Nigeria. Now, again, he said, and make energy for local industrial production as expensive and inaccessible as possible. Imagine an allegiance that a particular man signed just to come into power. What does that supposed to tell you? And has it not occurred to you? Is it surprising to you that industrial materials like fuel, kerosene, gas, diesels, that these things are now highly exorbitant to purchase? These are industrial materials that will enable production. Has it not occurred to you that these things are more expensive now? Then we move again. We move again as as possible. Then now he said stonewall any new infrastructure agreement with the Chinese government, thus ensuring that Nigeria largely fails to benefit from the time limited once in a century economic opportunity that is the Belt and Road Initiative, and drastically reduce the size of the existing economic partnership with China. Ensure that dollar imports of the settlement remains dominated, even though that makes no sense economically. So you see the injunctions that Tinubu signed to severe the ties between Nigeria and China, especially in infrastructure investment in Nigeria, and to make sure that in terms of importation, everything should be on what naira or on dollar domination and not even naira. This is the genesis of Nigeria economic woes, and this is what we are facing now. The manifestation is what we are seeing now. The manifestation is what we are seeing now, and this is how they plan to cripple Africa. And this is the handwork of Tinubu. the handwork of Tinubu. And ever since Tinubu came into power, the first thing International Monetary Fund advised him to float the naira. That was how they floated the naira and rubbish the value of our naira. Today, Nigeria is suffering. The masses are suffering. The middle class, there is mass migration out there, and especially from the middle class. The rich, they're already rich. They have already stole from the pot of the economy. So they can fly in and out at any point in time. They have the money. Now, what about the poor? The poor can be the scavengers looking for food to eat, just as Abio stated in my previous video. So the middle class now, there will be mass migration to Europe, West, and the rest, battling for survival, where they'll be engaged in cheap labors for survival. Guys, if you like this video, please make sure you are following me and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel on my